simplifying expressions, but before we do that, we have to talk about some vocab. So consecutive mean back-to-back numbers, and some examples that we can talk about are like just literally 1, 2, 3, 4, and following that type of pattern. We could talk about consecutive even numbers, so 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on, or even the same thing with odd numbers, 1, 3, 5, 7. We're specifically going to be talking about consecutive integers and how to write them in an algebraic expression. Write the next 3 consecutive integers, but we want it to write it algebraically. So let's say x or 6 is the first one. To get from 6 or x to 7, we have to add 1. So algebraically, if 6 is x, then 7 would be x plus 1. To get to the next one, 8, we would have to add 2, so it would be x plus 2. And then to get to 9, we would have to go 3 over, so it would be x plus 3. So next we're going to talk about consecutive even integers. Off at x here, so x is the first one. Then we would actually have to skip over to 10, so we actually have to add 2. Which would be the next one after that, we would have to add 4, so it would be x plus 4. And that would be really similar if we started on an odd number. Let's say we were at 9. To get to 11, we would have to add 2, or add 4 to get to 13. So it's very similar for odd integers. So sometimes you're going to get problems. They're going to ask you about 3 consecutive integers. So let's go ahead and talk about one of those. Talked about on that first number line, we can't see too well. If we were like at 6 and we want to get to second, which would be the next number, we would add 1, so it would be x plus 1. And if we wanted to get 2 after that, we would write x plus 2. So these would be 3 consecutive integers. And it actually asks us to find the sum of the consecutive integers, which means that we want to add them together. So we're going to do x plus 1 plus x plus 2. So we're going to start by combining our like terms, getting all our x's, and we have 3 of them, so it becomes 3x, and we combine our whole numbers, and we get 3x plus 3, and that's the answer. Is 0.03 larger than New York City? Tokyo is twice that of New York City, decreased by 2.19 million, and it wants us to write the sum of the 3 cities. So very similar, but they're actually giving us some values, and it tells us that New York City is x. So let's go ahead and start with the information. We're going to write out that x is equal to New York City. Then we know that Mexico City, we're going to abbreviate with a MC, is 0.03 larger than New York City. So we're going to do 0.03x, and 0.03 plus x, and then that Tokyo is twice that, decreased by 2.19 million. So Tokyo, we're going to use a t, is going to be 2x decrease or minus 2.19. So now we want to find the sum or add them all together. So we're going to do x plus 0.03 plus x plus 2x minus 2.19. And we can start by combining our like terms, so we can get all our x's together. We have 4 of them to become 4x. From there, we can combine our whole numbers, and we get negative 2.16. And that's actually our final answer. So if we ever find out what New York City's population is, we can plug it in for x and find all 3 populations all together. And that's the end of this video.